Do subscribe Learn Nepal for more videos.
Comparison, Unit 12, which is very important. Friends, we can make comparison between things in different ways. We can compare weight, height, depth, size, thickness of the things. And similarly, we can make comparison between people, places, situations, actions, prices of things and such others. So this video is related to price comparison, and I'm sure after watching this video you will be able to make comparison between prices of things. So let's begin Unit 12, comparison. 12.3, comparing prices. In your examination you may be asked a question with an instruction: make price comparison of the following things. So let's know how to make price comparison. So in the image you can see pen as well as pencil with their price tag. Pen Rs 75 and pencil Rs 16s. So let's make comparison between pen and pencil with their price. So pen 75 rupees, pencil 16 rupees. So for your better understanding I used ET and CT. It means ET means expensive thing and CT it means cheap thing. So here pen is expensive thing and pencil it is cheap thing. So let's make comparison. While making comparison, either we can put expensive thing at the beginning of our sentence or we can put cheap thing in the beginning of our sentence. And if we use expensive thing at the beginning, we have to use times, and if we use cheap thing at the beginning or in the beginning of the sentence, we have to use a half, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth. So let's see. Here pen is expensive thing, and if we begin with expensive thing we have to use times. So pen is singular, therefore pen is about 5 times as expensive as pencil, or pen is about 5 times the price of pencil. Instead of expensive as, we can use the price of, following the same structure. Or pen costs about 5 times as much as pencil. So here instead of is MR, if we use the verb cost, we have to use as much as instead of as expensive as or the price of. So here pen costs about 5 times as much as pencil. So here let's put cheap thing in the beginning of our sentence, and let's see. Pencil is about a fifth the price of pen. So if you begin with cheap thing, instead of using times you have to use a half, a third, a fourth, or a fifth. Let's see the structure. Dear students, if you want to make comparison putting expensive thing at first, or how much more expensive it is, you have to use times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times or 5 times, and so on. Okay, so let's see, we are putting expensive thing in the beginning, therefore the structure is going to be expensive thing. According to subject, we have to use is, am, are, about, and then times. Remember, times. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and so on. And then as expensive as city, cheap thing, or the price of cheap thing. You can use any. Or you can use cost, the verb cost or costs according to subject. And if you are using cost, yes, my friend, I have already told you, you have to use as much as instead of as expensive as or the price of. So see here, expensive thing, cost or costs according to subject, about, and here we have to use times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and then as much as city. So dear students, copy this structure. It would help you to make comparison. So if you are using expensive thing at first, remember expensive thing is, am, are, about, and times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, as expensive as city or the price of city. So for example, let's see, pen 75 rupees, pencil 16 rupees. Here pen is expensive thing and pencil is cheap thing. So let's begin with putting expensive thing in the beginning, because these structures are about making comparison, putting expensive thing at first. So pen is about 5 times as expensive as pencil. Here pen is expensive thing and pencil is cheap thing. We are putting pen in the beginning, therefore we are using times. Similarly, we can use the price of instead of as expensive as following the same structure. Pen is about 5 times the price of pencil. Similarly, you can use the verb cost and as much as. So pen costs about 5 times as much as pencil. I have already told you, if you are using cost, you have to use as much as instead of as expensive as or the price of. Similarly, if you want to put cheap thing in the beginning of your sentence, let's see what would be the structure, or how much cheaper is something. So if you put cheap thing at first, rather than using 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times, you have to use a half, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and accordingly. So see, cheap thing is, am, are, about, a half, a third, a fourth, as expensive thing or the price of expensive thing. So remember, if you are using cheap thing, you have to use a half, a third, a fourth, a fifth, and so on. Don't use 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times. Let me make you understood. If A is 2 times as expensive as B, it means B is 1 upon 2, means B is half the price of A. Similarly, if A is about 3 times as expensive as B, it means B is about 1/3 the price of A. Similarly, if A is about 4 times as expensive as B, it means B is about 1/4 the price of A. Similarly, if A is about 5 times as expensive as B, it means B is about 1/5 the price of A, that we call a fifth. Similarly, if A is about 6 times the price of B, it means B is about 1/6 the price of A. It means 1/6, it means a sixth. Okay, so if you are using CT in the beginning, please use a half, a third, a fourth. So let's see an example. Pen RS 75, pencil RS 16. So here expensive thing is pen and pencil is cheap thing, and we are beginning our sentence using cheap thing at first. So here pencil is cheap thing. Pencil is about a fifth, not 5 times, because we are using cheap thing at the first, therefore we are using a fifth. So pencil is about a fifth as expensive as pen, or instead of as expensive as, we can use the price of. Following the same structure, pencil is about a fifth the price of pen. I think you understood it. If you use cheap thing in the beginning, you have to use a half, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, instead of 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times. So copy this structure. It will obviously help you to make comparison. Okay, let's see 2 examples. So I would like to remind you again, if you are making comparison using expensive thing at first, you have to use times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. And if you are using cheap thing at first, you have to use a half, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, and so on. Okay, so here mutton RS 1250 and chicken RS 300. So let's put expensive thing at first. Mutton is expensive. Mutton is about 5 times as expensive as chicken. So here we used mutton, therefore 4 times. So let's put cheap thing here. Chicken is cheap thing. Let's put chicken in the beginning of the sentence. Chicken is about a fourth. So why we are using a fourth? It is because we begin our sentence with cheap thing. So chicken is about a fourth the price of mutton. Similarly, bikes Rs 2 lakh, cars Rs 6 lakh 20,000. Here cars are expensive and bikes are cheaper. So let's begin with expensive thing. Here cars. So cars is plural, therefore cars are about 3 times as expensive as bikes, or cars are about 3 times the price of bikes. So let's put out a half the price of frozen peas. Here instead of the price of, you can use as expensive as well. Tin peas are about a half, it means less, the as expensive as frozen peas, or the price of frozen peas. Look at the next question. Cotton seeds 14 pound, silk seeds 150 pound. Here silk seeds are expensive, so let's begin with silk seeds. Silk seeds are about 10 times as expensive as cotton seeds. So let's begin with cotton seeds, a cheap thing. Cotton seeds are about a tenth the price of silk seed. Similarly, olive oil 2 pound, corn oil 99 pence. See here, you have to be very careful. Units are different. Here is pound and here is pence. So here first we have to, you can say, calculate the times, changing it into the same unit. So here 1 pound equals to 100 pence, or 100 pence equals to 1 pound. So here olive oil is expensive than corn oil. So let's begin with olive oil. Tentative 2 times. So olive oil is about 2 times as expensive as corn oil, or let's begin with corn oil, cheap thing. Corn oil is about a half the price of olive oil. Similarly, leather gloves 8 pound, woolen gloves 2.75 pounds. Okay, so let's begin with, here expensive thing is leather gloves. So begin with it. Leather gloves are about 3 times as expensive as woolen gloves, or let's begin with cheap thing. Woolen gloves are about a third the price of leather gloves. Similarly, color television 310 pound, black and white television 60 pound. So expensive thing, color television. Let's begin with it. As expensive as black and white television, or color television is about 5 times the price of black and white television. So let's begin with cheap thing, black and white television. Black and white television is about a fifth the price of color television. Okay, I think you get it. So once remember, if you are using expensive thing in the beginning of the sentence, you have to use times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And if you begin your sentence with cheap thing, Rather than using times, you have to use a half, a third, a fourth. Okay, so this is a question which was asked in your board examination in 2074. Compare the prices of the things below. Copy this question for practice. Okay, let me do first two questions. Pilot pen RS 90, gel pen RS 28. Here pilot pen is expensive thing, gel pen is cheap thing. So let's first begin with expensive thing. Pilot pen is about 3 times as expensive as gel pen, or pilot pen is about 3 times the price of gel pen. So let's begin with gel pen. It is cheap thing. So gel pen is about a third the price of pilot pen. Similarly, cotton pens RS 1600, jeans pens RS 900. So here expensive thing is cotton pants and cheap jeans pants. So let's begin with cotton pants. So cotton pants are about 2 times as expensive as jeans pants. So let's begin with the jeans pants. Cheap thing. Jeans pants are about a half. Jeans pants are about a half the price of cotton pants. I think you can do the remaining questions as well. So leather gloves 400, woolen gloves 125. So here expensive thing is leather glove. So leather gloves are about 3 times as expensive as woolen gloves, or woolen gloves are about a third the price of leather gloves. Color television 20,000, black and white television 5,000. So black and white television is cheap thing, color television is expensive thing. Let's begin with expensive thing. Color television is about 4 times as expensive as black and white television. It means black and white television is about a fourth the price of color television. Mustard oil RS 210 and sunflower RS 135. Here expensive mustard oil. So let's begin with it. Mustard oil is about twice as expensive as sunflowers, or sunflower is about a half the price of mustard oil. Thank you very much for your patience.
Do subscribe Learn Nepal for more videos.